how did you know about PMX?
So basically, it was through a friend. During the pandemic, I had the opportunity to work on the app.
I think you should talk a little louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was saying that I came to know PMX through a friend. So during the pandemic, I decided to build a kind of software which will be like useful to kind of educate people about the pandemic, like what are the what is coronavirus and what should you do, what should not, what kind of thing you should avoid to do and those kind of thing. And I built the app. That friend of mine came to my house and then I showed the app. It was really impressive and then he was excited. He asked me what I want to do with this kind of app. I was like, okay, maybe I will just send the app to my country and then people can use. He said, no, you should sell it. And then I was like, no. And then 3 days later, he sent me a link. He said, this company might be a good fit with what you have built. So it was PMX. And then I applied and then, I got.
So basically you were into app development?
So the app has like two main functionalities. So the first one was like a chatbot in which you just give information about COVID-19, and then the second part, which was kind of important, it was the part with AI. So in which we can be like able to kind of classify like in the lung which lung is kind of infected, which lung is not infected, and then be able to detect where is be able to detect where is the virus located at. So that's the part actually which was kind of impressive.
So you always had a motive to join medical AI or only after the COVID? COVID gave you the motivation to go for medical AI?
That's something that I actually wanted to do. So it's not just about COVID, but I felt like so if it's not just about computer science, but it's really about how can you impact people's life. So let's say that now we are learning AI, I'm doing research in AI, but how can I use AI to maybe solve real world problems? So that's and healthcare just came up, and it's something that I just love. And
so what's your major in your PhD?
So my PhD is AI, artificial intelligence. I do a lot of research on that area, especially deep learning, machine learning, and also big data.
Cool. So we'll move on to the next question.
Sure.
How are you managing both PhD and job in Korea?
To be honest, I just try to give 100% to both, but not at the same time. So it's also important to be realistic and to just understand that you have to have that schedule, you have to stick to that, and you have to know how you can manage your time in order to not be kind of late on the deadline that you have with the company, and also be able to follow the class and something like that.
Yeah, that's really challenging because as far as I did my master's in Korea as well, sometimes the professor are really pressurizing, like having deadlines, and you need to have finished some proposals, right? All these things. So isn't it really difficult?
For me, I would say that it's not really difficult because I'm doing something that I really enjoy. So that's helped me a lot because when I'm doing research in AI, it's something that I enjoy, and then when I come in phenomics, it's kind of the application of what I'm kind of researching, even though it's not the same area, but somehow you can come across these algorithms that you can apply in different type of fields. So it can be healthcare, it can be real-time object detection, and some other problems.
Okay, this is a question from me, a personal curiosity. Were your professor okay with you working in a company when you're doing PhD under him?
Yeah, he's okay with that.
And the university allows?
Yes. So the thing is, in this kind of situation, you really have to gain the trust of your professor, and the only way to do that is just to show your professor that you are able to do that. You have to you cannot be late on lab project and then ask for your professor, okay, I want to do something else. No, that's not going to work. So you have to be really good with the task that you have in the lab, so that you can ask like a favor, okay, professor, I think that I can manage my time to be able to do this and this, so what do you think? And then just go from there.
Okay. The next question is, as an international, what is your experience in Korean company?
It's that's a good question, and it's a good question because when you come when you come to like a new country, you really have to understand how the people in that country, like their way of thinking,
Right.
the culture, the language. So in Korea, it can be difficult at first because you really have to learn the language.
True.
That can be like a wall for a lot of people.
And the work timing is like different.
Exactly. So that's
Yeah.
what, and there is also that culture. There is also that culture
Yeah,
of
right.
hierarchical, like kind of culture, if I can say like that. Because inside the communication, you have the language, you have the culture, and you really have to find this like this line in which because as a foreigner you also have your culture. There is maybe something that you in your country you can do, and it's not really bad, or it's not really like a bad thing. But in Korea there is something related to the culture. But you really have to understand that. You have to embrace that.
That is true.
So
Yeah. And do you feel pressured by that?
I don't feel pressure about that. I think it's also because of my experience. So I've been in Korea for over 5 years now, and I kind of I understand that. It's something that I just embrace, and I just make sure that the people that I'm working with are happy, not only with the work that I'm doing, but also with my attitude. So if they say that this is how we do things, so we will do things that way. But it doesn't mean that if I have some suggestion, I will not say that, okay, I think maybe we should. So it's just a matter of finding the right line. And
Okay, that's really thoughtful of you. We'll go to the next question.
All right.
It's like, what are you currently working on? How does it apply to solve real world problems?
All right. So in PMX right now, I'm currently working on a solution which is called Chestomex, in which we want to be able to kind of detect any kind of disease located around the lung area. So we are applying very scalable deep learning algorithm, and also we want to make sure that the method that we are applying actually fit the requirement of the radiologists or the clinicians. So that's pretty much my work here, and we also want to be able to kind of design efficient app, so that it's not just about on the deep learning building side, but after the model is created, how can be put or push that model so that it can be used for the radiology. So there is a connection that needs to be made in terms of maybe like create an interface, something like that.
So you mentioned diseases, right? Like lung diseases. So what kind of diseases Testomex is focusing on?
So we have let's say there is infiltration. We have I cannot really say that it's not only about diseases, because we want to be able, for example, to do like some segmentation with lobe segmentation, lung segmentation, and we also have fibrosis.
Yeah.
And those are pretty much the diseases that we are just trying to target as for now. But for sure, we are going to expand that and make sure that the solution that we are going to provide will be very robust, and it can be useful for everyone, not just in Korea or US, but really everywhere.
Great. And nearing to the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Okay. So the next question is, how do you expect PMX to help you achieve your professional goals?
Okay, I think PMX is already helping me achieve my professional goals, because in here I have the chance to work on something that I love. That's one thing, and also I have the chance to kind of participate on that, in the sense that I can present my ideas. I can say that, okay, we have this cert, but there is maybe a new way to do that. We can maybe implement that. We can look for this one. So I think this one itself, it's really important for me, and I think it's also good. That's one thing. And the other thing is just to be in a company in which you have a lot of foreigner, you have a lot of people that comes almost from everywhere. It's something which is really important, because you get to learn how to behave, because like when you come to a place, you come with something, and then the other person will come to something, the other person will come to something, and then we kind of mix that, and just to learn how to be better and to work with the team. So that's that, and I really love the environment here, and just be able to work on this big project, and it's really something that I love, and it's very important for me.
It's good to know that you like working with us. This question is like personal question. You said like you about time management before. Like in PhD life also, you'll be having a lot of presentations, have to attend conferences and meetings, so you have to prepare like PPTs and all that, and even for meetings in PMX you have to prepare presentations and all that. There will be like so much of work which needs time. How are you really managing it? Do you even eat?
Sure. I do eat. That's a good question, but I just try to find the right balance, because I think balance is the key. So everything that you just mentioned are related to my work. But behind that, we also need to find a time to have like a social life.
That's what I'm really curious about, because all these tasks really require a lot of time and patience. And then where do you get the time to spend your personal life?
So it's I have a schedule. It's a strict schedule in which I just try to stick into. So I know that, okay, let's say if I have a deadline, for example, tomorrow for something related to let's say to my research. So I will work on that. Let's say I will, for example, if I have to work like 8 hours in the day, I probably give like 4 to 6 hours to that, and then maybe the 2 remaining hours I will be working on something related to, for example, the company, the project, and when I say work, is like working, not like distraction and then work a little bit and then go for distraction, but it's just like.
Do you ever get distracted?
Not really.
Oh, that's the key. That's nice.
I just try to be hard on myself sometimes, because I know that I don't have enough time. It's very important to manage with the time that I have. So when I say I'm going to work on that, I make sure that I'm working on that, and then I get it done.
Oh, it's really great, Gedeon, because knowing as a person who's living in another country, we have a huge time difference between our mother country and here. So it must be really difficult, and you're still managing the good balance. That's really great of you. It was a good session. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate that.